All right, next up here, before we talk about the Florida game, James, we're going to talk about some of the top plays from last year. We have some highlights. We want to show them to you guys. We'll start at number 10 and kind of work our way down to the bottom here. We start kind of earlier in the year, Michigan at BYU. And as it turned out, James, there ended up being a lot of Amara Darboh plays this year.
He made
a lot of
crazy plays last year, yep.
This is one of his one-handed grabs. At first glance, it doesn't look that amazing. Then you get the slow-mo and the zoom plays. A nice little move there to get past the press, and it was a nifty one-handed grab.
Yeah, it was one of the crazy plays. One of these ones that kind of jumped out of the gym when I saw it. Yeah, it was a great play.
That was number 10 here. We'll head to number 9 on our list. We'll jump to the end of the year. We'll go to the bowl game play. Chris Evans, a nice run here. I thought this was the play that had won the game.
I thought Florida State gave up there at the end. The last 10 yards, 3 guys could attack them. No one did. I thought Michigan won the game. I thought Florida State kind of given up like Florida did in the bowl game the year prior. Was really disappointed with that one. Michigan didn't hold out that one.
This is some nice vision, some nice blocking, and just a couple little stutter moves, and a missed tackle was all Evans needed there.
Yeah, for sure. Great play.
Head now to number 8 on our list after the little celebration there. Number 8, we head to a different halfback, Devion Smith. This was the dive of the year.
Yeah, and he just muscled through that time. Look, he jumps from about 15 feet out there and gets over that pylon for a great touchdown. This is one of my favorite plays of the year. When we started thinking about this is one that popped in my head instantly.
Yeah, and, he's not the fastest guy, but that's a nice leap. Just barely got that ball inside the pylon. A very powerful runner. That's what Smith did so well for Michigan.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we mentioned Amara Darboh. We have another one here for you. This one against Michigan State, yet another one-handed grab. A nice clean pocket for Speight. I think there's some pass interference there, too, on the defense. That's probably a ball that Darboh shouldn't have caught because of the PI. A little bit underthrown, but it still counts.
Wasn't that impactful play at the time? But, man, you're like, it's a great catch. Guy straddling all over him. He just puts one arm out and grabs it. So that was one of the better plays I thought of this year as well. And then this next one is probably the catch of the year on the offensive side.
And this is against Wisconsin here. Again, Amara Darboh. Yeah. Nice grab there. Takes it into the end zone. That was a big play for Michigan from where it occurred. That put them ahead of Wisconsin in that ugly, hard-fought game.
Yeah, what I meant by catch of the year, I didn't actually mean like most acrobatic catch by any means. I think most impactful catch, yeah. Maybe other than one that'll come up, but in a regular game, that was a game where no one could do anything on the field, and that's late in the fourth quarter. And that's when Speight became our quarterback, as they say about other people.
You will see another Wisconsin play later on in the show. Hint, hint, tease, tease. Head now to the Ohio State game, and this was a big play. This is 4th and goal for Michigan. And Speight again finds Darboh.
No, that's incorrect, Tom. This is actually, this is 4th down. You're right. I originally thought this was a 2-point conversion. This is the 4th down. And look at the slide across there. It's such a crazy play, such an impactful play for that game. That was the last. He doesn't catch it, the game's over.
Just before he gets hit, just outside the reach of the diving defender, just barely there. I think that might even graze his fingertips.
Yep.
Diving catch, huge play there for Michigan. We will have another play of that later on in the show, unfortunately. Time for our little mini Jabrill Peppers segment here.
Yeah.
This was against Michigan State in the meaningless 2-point conversion that meant nothing for either side. But Peppers picked up the fumble and ran it all the way back.
Probably my favorite play of the game. One was because he runs it back 99 yards. 2, he does the I'm at the end. He does like the sprint. I cross the line, and then he kind of falls down there. I don't know if you saw it, but it was Mark D'Antonio trying to be like a wise guy. It was 10 seconds left in the game, going for 2 to get him within 6 or something like that. It was totally
meaningless.
Pointless.
Totally meaningless.
And Peppers takes the house, whoop, does that, and they get me on camera doing that. It wasn't expected.
That was perfect.
Yeah, exactly.
There's literally a timer there, so that one was on you.
Hey, I don't have glasses, Tom. I don't have that kind of coverage.
It even shows red when we're about to go away from us.
Whatever.
All right, anyway, next up here is number 3, the Jabrill Peppers punt return against Colorado. Look, he was great on returns. A nice little hesitation move right
He almost falls down again. The prior week, Tom, he had the same exact play. He fell down at the 5-yard line with no one around him.
He just kind of gets excited and falls forward.
Yeah, and then he had another one later in the year. One I took out of this list against Rutgers, it was just like this, where he actually hit the guy, did a spin move, and then took it to the house. Got called back for a penalty, though, so we couldn't include that one. So this might be the player of the year in college football coming up, Tom.
Oh, yeah. Air Jordan is what we've been calling it against Wisconsin. This is late in the game. This essentially sealed the win for Michigan. They're trying to go deep, and he floats on this play. I don't know how he does it. He jumped too early, but he just kind of hung up in the air and still managed to make the backhanded one-handed interception.
Yeah, aptly named Air Jordan. And like, you know what's crazy about that? That was actually on 4th down. So he took some heat on Twitter, and Peppers and some other guys defended him. Like, it was like you should have batted it down there. But I say make the catch, get the acrobatic play. The play of, I think, the year as far as one that counted. This next play, Tom, I actually think this is the play of the year.
Trigger warning.
What it should have meant, and I think we all can agree that this game was rigged. We've seen the film.
No.
4th down, overtime. Michigan up by a field goal at this point. Ohio State goes for it. JT Barrett stopped 1.5 yards before the line, leans forward, puts his hand down, but as we all saw, the ball never crossed the 15-yard line. He was down. Jim Harbaugh knows he's down. You can see it on screen here. I'm watching it, and there's nothing you're going to do ever to convince me. Ohio State fans, Tom, had to go as far as photoshopping the lines crooked to make it look like he got past the ball. Yeah. That was the photo that went viral that Michigan fans will deny this existed. Well, we don't have to Photoshop things. It's clear.
It was a cross-angled line. I saw the producer, Brett Scott, had unmuted his mic. I'm sure he wants to say something here. It was not rigged.
I just liked your trigger warning.
Yeah, it was a trigger warning there.
What do you mean it's not rigged? We remember all the pass interference calls that Michigan had. The guy patted the Ohio State player on the butt.
So you're saying that the Big Ten wanted Ohio State to beat Michigan in that game?
Absolutely, they did.
Because they wanted Penn State to get in and then have the controversy about does the Big Ten have a true champion this year?
No, they want to keep the facade up that Urban Meyer is some sort of god, and they make the rivalry even more stoked next year. I'm not getting off this topic, Tom, because not only was there 6 or 7 or 8 calls like that Michigan got screwed on, that was the best play of the year for Michigan because they stopped him on the biggest play of the college football season, and he was clearly down. The hand is not the ball. We all know that, Tom. The hand is not the ball.
If you want to make the argument that the refs missed calls, okay, I will give you that one. If you want to make the argument that it's rigged, that is irresponsible of you, James.
Irresponsible?
There are children listening to this show.
Okay, so let's just talk about this. I know Brett's going to tell us to go on, but we're not going on, okay? We're not going on here. It came out afterwards. The guy who made the call, the butt patter, not only was he not allowed about 9 or 10 years ago to call Ohio State games because he was an avid Ohio State fan. Well, that's the only reason. That's clearly, how did they change that rule? He was not allowed to officiate the 2006 Ohio State-Texas game because he's an Ohio State fan. 10 years later, he's allowed to do it. So how is that not? Please tell me.
Doesn't mean it's rigged, James.
Doesn't mean it's rigged.
No, it doesn't mean it's rigged.
Let me actually check.
This is not the WWE. You didn't get a text.
Sources.
This is fake news.
Sources. Rigged. It's rigged. No, Tom, you're never gonna take away that was rigged. It was the worst call in college football history.
We have the Stanford Cow game.
That was a phenomenal call. Phenomenal call.